So here I am, just about ready to send 37 cards off to SGC, 36 of them for grading, one for a label review. And this is going to be, I think, my fourth submission in 2 months, second to SGC. I've had a couple to PSA. And that is a rate that is greater, we'll say, than I have in the past. I've been sending a lot of cards in. My friend actually sent me, I think 21 or so are his, the rest are mine. He trusts me to get them packaged up, sent to him. But again, I've been sending a lot of cards in lately, so I was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel on what I've had set aside, and I haven't been picking up a whole lot of cards lately that are really flippable, I guess, for grading. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes, get some stuff out there, and kind of go through my process on what I'm going to choose this time around. As always, I recommend pre-grading your own cards and recording it. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to dive in a little deeper than I normally do on the cards that I've actually picked this time around. A lot of them don't fit my typical kind of MO. I'm a 70s, 80s, 90s guy. I do Hall of Fame rookie cards, and that's kind of like the bulk of what I grade. But I've kind of stepped into a little bit 90s inserts and then some newer stuff. I am really not a modern card guy. But last time around, I sent in like a gold refractor. Who was it? Gold refractor, not Devers. Arenado. That's who it was. It was a gold refractor Arenado. It gemmed. It sold pretty quick. It wasn't even a card that I picked up thinking about it. It showed up in a lot that I picked up. But it was a gorgeous card. It was numbered 1 out of 50. It gemmed. It was great. And so I've been looking a little bit more into that. And so some of these cards may be a little bit more that way. But again, the big thing is I've just run out of cards to grade. And so let's dive in a little bit, and we're going to start with actually a label review that I'm going to request. I've got a 96 Fleer Derek Jeter. It gemmed, but it's the glossy version. So I believe this label needs to include the Tiffany on there, which is a pretty significant difference if you know anything about the 96 Fleer set. The base set was like a matte finish, and then there's the glossy or the Tiffany finish, which this one is. So I'm going to send this one in for a label review, see if they can fix that for me. So we'll set that aside. Then again, I've printed out my invoice and I've pre-graded all of the cards. His first, and so I'm going to go kind of quick and not as to the why he graded them, but the what I think they will grade. And the first one is a Molitor Tremount 78 rookie card that is off-centered, and interestingly, it's got the ink smudge, and it's on the back of the card. As many of these cards as I've graded or sent in for grading, and I've sent quite a few. I'm pretty familiar with this card. Most of the time what you end up seeing is an ink smudge along the black rookie shortstops and then up into the red often, and it kind of bleeds up. Now a sharp card will actually still get as high as an 8, even with kind of that minor smudge. I've seen it. But like I said, this is kind of an interesting card to me because I've never seen this smudge, and I'm going to see if I can get a better view of it for you. There's a smudge on the back. Kind of interesting. Decent looking card, no smudge on the front, off-centered. I said a 4.5 to a 5, depending on how rough they are in that centering. But the corners actually look pretty good. Next card up is the iconic Billy Ripken error, number 616. I won't say the expletive that is off the end of his bat that you see there, but this is a great looking card. I think he pulled it pack fresh. and I think that'll get at least a 9. I'm putting a 9 on there, but it is centered and sharp, and I think he's going to be happy with that one. Next up is an auto, Jared Kelenic, and it's numbered out of 99. I said that this should be a solid 9.5. In my pre-grading standards, I'll put a 9, a 9.5, or a 9.5 plus. You may see one like right there. But I generally don't guess 10s. So I try and be as accurate as possible. I try and get within half a point. But again, if I'll say if I think it's going to be a 9.5, I'll say if it's going to be a 10, I'm actually going to say it's a 9.5 plus. Give myself a little bit of grace and leeway. But I think that one's a 9.5. Another Kelenic auto. This one's numbered out of 25. I also said 9.5 on that one. This is a childhood card of his, I think, is an 87 Topps Jerry Rice sticker, and you can't see it in here, but it does have some creases and stuff. He didn't really care. That's probably going to grade out at a 4. We've got a Warren Sapp Topps Stadium Club rookie card. I believe I said that one. 9, I think, on that. I think I may have seen a corner fleck or two. 2020 Chronicles Joe Burrow base. That one was a blazer. It's a base card, but I think he'll get a 9.5 or better on that one. This card right here, I actually cracked it earlier this morning. This was already graded, and I can't remember if it was an 8 or an 8.5. He requested that I crack it out of his case and resubmit it. I'm generally not a huge fan, but we have been successful on a couple of those in the past. This one, I'm going to say, is going to come back the same grade. I think it's an 8. I believe the centering, both left to right and top to bottom, is a little off. And guys, I'm sorry if my video isn't the absolute best. But I also see a couple of, like a corner issue and possibly a surface issue. I think this is going to come back an 8. I think they got it right the first time. I think they're going to get it right again. Hopefully he doesn't get a lower grade. Next up is a Flux T-Law rookie card, and I think I may have seen a little bit of edge issue on this one, so I think that may get a 9. A Mosaic pink camo, that one looked sharp, 9.5 plus. He then has 1, 2, 3, 4 of the club level die cuts. There's like 3 different colors. They all look sharp. I said 9.5 or better on those. Next up is a Tatum optic rookie card, and I think the centering on this one is off. I think everything else looks good, but I actually think this is going to get an 8.5, which is, where is this one? 8.5 right there. I think that's an 8.5 because of the centering. We'll see how it is. 2 paper base Donruss Tatum rookie cards. I think the first one was a 9 and the second was no, I put the better one up front. So I think there's a 9.5 and a 9 in those two. The 9, I think I saw a little bit of a corner fleck on the lower right. So 9 on that one. Next up, we've got a couple of Lucas. I think the Luminance is going to get a 9.5. I think the Chronicles is going to get a 9.5. And then I think the Chronicles number 183 is going to get a 9. Lower right corner on that one. A little bit of white showing. Michael Porter Jr., this was actually in a PSA 9. I cracked this one this morning as well. I did clean it up a little bit. Just wiped it. I'm totally for wiping, especially the chrome and prism cards, getting rid of any fingerprints, anything like that. Definitely don't alter anything. But this one, I think actually just taking a microfiber to the surface actually cleaned it up. Now, there may or may not be some little surface stuff going on up here, and I'm not a modern card guy, and so it may be nothing, and he could get a bump on this one, get a 9.5. If not, it's just going to be a better looking 9, honestly. Just to be on the safe side, I said 9, but we'll see what that one is. All right, now we're getting into my cards. So these are actually my cards. This is what I picked out. And we start this one off with a 1954 Yogi Berra. I picked this up on Whatnot off of a collector that's bought from me. I've bought from them. We are on pretty good terms, and I snagged this one from him a while back, and I finally decided to get this one into a tux. It is really nicely centered, and you're not going to be able to see it on the video, but it does have kind of some soft corners. I think it's a 3. At the price I got it and the price that grading is right now, though, a 3 still is worth it. It's a 54 Yogi. If it happened to get a friendly 4, and there are no creases on this card, but again, there's some rounded corners, and so it might get a 4, but just the way that things have been going lately, I think it's going to get a 3. And I'll still be happy. I'm not sure what I'm going to end up doing with that card when it comes back. All right, here's another card, 1982 Donruss Ripken rookie card. This card, one I'm very familiar with, one I've sent in many cards. I've only gemmed one, but I've got a bunch of 9s. I actually bought this off of eBay. Buy it now, full asking price, because it was so sharp. Again, I'm really familiar with this card and the centering, and there are little things that I look for on this card in particular, and one of them is in these corners right here. You can actually kind of tell if the registration is out on them. You'll see where like the ink, one of the printing plates was like kind of like off, and you'll see some like red bleed up or yellow or whatever. But this one, the print is like spot on, perfectly in focus. Corners are razor sharp. Back is perfectly centered. Corners super crisp. Now, the one thing that may end up holding this card back is there might be a little bit of rough cut, and you're not going to see it on this because it's like a only under magnification thing. So depending on how SGC looks at that one, I think I said 9. I said 9, but it could come back as low as an 8.5. Or I think maybe even as high as a 10. This is a blazer right there. I said 9. We'll see what happens. Next up is a lower end Kobe insert from 2003. No, let's see, what is this one? 2002. Sorry, Upper Deck. It's called the Electric Company. It's nice. I actually said a 9.5. It's a paper product. It's full bleed color, and there is no whiting, no chipping visible at all. I think the centering looks spot on, and it's a Kobe. So even if it gets even if it got an 8, I think it's fine. But I actually do peg this one at a 9.5. I'm not a huge Kobe collector, but there are plenty of them out there, and so we'll see if we can get another high-grade Kobe insert out into circulation later. Next up, and out of the same collection that I got that Kobe, I've got a Jerry Rice, and if you can see, there it is, it's a refractor. So this is the 98 Chrome from Topps. It's number 27, Jerry Rice, and it is the refractor. I actually, when I pulled this for grading, I thought it was an insert. And it's actually not. I guess it's part of the base set or whatever. But it's gorgeous. It's a refractor. It's 90s, and so this is one of the ones where I'm kind of just starting leaning into, and we're going through a learning process. We'll just put it that way. On the 90s refractors. They look fantastic to me a lot, and then they come back 8s and stuff like that. So I'm trying to improve my own discernment, I guess, on these refractors. And this one, I took the time, I cleaned up the surface. It's perfectly centered. I don't see any refractor marks. It's freaking Jerry Rice. So I went out on a limb. I said this one's going to come back in 9.5. We'll see if I'm disappointed or not, but that one is a cool card. Next up is, here's another refractor. There's Reggie Miller, and this is a 0304. It's not his rookie. It's not like a huge card. It's not numbered, but what I picked on this card is that it's the LeBron rookie year. '03, '04 is just such a huge year for basketball. I mean, because on top of LeBron, you got Wade, Melo. I'm trying to think who. I think there may be like one other pretty notable name in that rookie class, but just the weight of those guys kind of carries '03, '04 product. And this is a chrome, and it's a refractor, and it's a Hall of Famer. It's perfectly centered, razor sharp, front and back. I didn't see any print lines, refractor lines, anything like that. What I did notice, though, is the stock that they use is like really thick. It's almost multi-layer, I think. And so the cut of it may have left like a couple of little like rough points or something. And so I know that, or I'm pretty sure that SGC uses a lot of magnification, maybe some computer aiding to find any sort of like the surface flaws, edge flaws, stuff like that. And so I say that this is going to be a 9, but even in a 9, I think it'll be okay. I may end up holding on to this one. I was a big Reggie fan back in the day. I mean, he was the best shooter of his era in my mind, and so I think this '03, '04 Chrome Refractor is going to get a mint, and we'll see what to do with the card. All right, next up, this is another refractor. It's the Zone Busters insert of Vince Carter from '02, '03, so the year prior. And this is one that I know is not going to gem. And so this is one that I picked to kind of like test the waters. Again, see where really the, how much does this flaw bring down a grade? And the flaw on this one is on the back corner, and again, it's really, really small, so you're not going to be able to see it on the video. Maybe I'm able to take a picture of it later, something like that. But this is a I think it's going to get an 8.5, honestly, is what I think. Now, if it got a 9, it'd be a friendly 9. And again, it's like, to what extent does this tiny fleck on the back side of a card affect the technical grade? Because I will say that, from up front, it's a 9 or better. It's absolutely gorgeous, super clean surface, razor sharp corners. But then the back, and in my mind, I'm like, why does a back flaw bring it down equal to a front flaw, which I think is the case, and I don't agree with. But I've chose to play this game, and so I've got to figure out the rules as well as I can. So I think that one gets an 8.5. Next card is one that's really, really out of my wheelhouse. This is I don't prospect at all, and this is a prospect. It's a New York Yankees prospect, Cooper Bowman, who I have no idea who that guy is. It's a 2021 product. It is the Elite Extra Edition. Again, going back to a couple low-numbered modern cards that I've sold here recently that did okay for me. I'm taking a flyer on this one. It's numbered out of 98. It's die cut, it's autographed, and it's a Yankees prospect. And I think I've seen a few sales of this guy, and so I'm just kind of rolling the dice on this one. Just see if if it bites me in the butt. The reason I'm doing it, though, is again, there's a few sales recently. I don't know this guy, but with SGC's turnaround, there's less risk of like an injury happening or him falling off the map. It's still going to be early season by the time I get this back. Again, I don't know where he's playing right now or anything, but one of the reasons I do like SGC, and a lot of us do, is just their turnaround times are second to none, even at their standard surface. So I did say a 9.5 or better. I mean, it looks like it's a gorgeous card, pack fresh type of thing, and so good shot at a gem. Next up, I have another modern low numbered card. This is a Jose Ramirez. Scorching insert, and it's from 2019, and it is numbered 3 out of 10. So this will, I'm racking my brain. This is definitely going to be like the lowest serial numbered card that I've ever sent in, and that's a large part of why I've chose to do that. I think it'll gem. I said 9.5 or better. To me, it looks flawless, wiped down the surface. But a numbered out of 10 is crazy low. And if it comes back a good grade, it's one of those that Jose, not really familiar with him. I think he's a solid player. So there'll hopefully be a market for a low numbered, high grade card. And again, this is one where I'm just kind of testing the waters, rolling the dice, seeing what lessons I learn. But that is that. Here is another one. Now, this name I am familiar with. This is Devers. That's what it was. I sent in and got a decent grade on a Devers Topps Chrome Refractor rookie card. So I think that was actually one of the first ones. Wasn't numbered, but I was able to sell it, make a little bit of money. So I've got a good experience with the Rafael Devers here, but this was numbered out of 75. It's the Topps Finest Rose Gold Prism from 2021. Again, it's low numbered card that looks like it should gem to me. It's the only reason I'm sending it in. Devers, I think he's the one. He signed a huge contract, right? So he's going to be a Boston guy for a long time. Hopefully, he does well for them. I might actually get to see him play then. We're actually, my family and I are going up to New York, upstate New York, and we're going to travel to Boston. I think we're going to be able to catch a game this summer, so that'd be fun. Anyways, that one, I said another 9.5 or better. So there's that one. Back a little bit towards more what I'm familiar with is a 94 Bowman's Best, and there you can see it. That is the refractor of Moises Alou. This is an early Alou card. I can't remember exactly when what his rookie card was. Now, Moises, he had a solid career. Played for a number of teams. Played for a while. I don't think he's going to be ever in the Hall of Fame. He may be already past that point. But he was solid. Played for a number of teams. So. I think he'd probably be considered a semi-star of the era. But this is the Bowman's Best refractor, and from '94, these were when refractors were still, I believe they were the box hit. You might get one a box, but these are quite desirable. So again, if this one could get a high grade, those early '90s refractors collectors there's a lot of them out there. To be on the safe side, I did say 9 on this one, and I don't see any issues centering, corners, edges, print, but what these early Chrome product are known for is that kind of fading, and so the red pops, but I'm not sure if like his picture is actually maybe a tad faded. And so I set a 9 on this one, but we will see. It's a nice one. Mixing it up. This guy just kind of popped out of a random collection. 67. This is 67 Don Drysdale, and it is, let's see if I can get a better picture. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty nicely centered, really sharp color pops. Back's a smidge faded, but you don't see any chipping at all. And on this 67 set, 67 set, and a lot of the old vintage sets that are colored on the back, you'll see the chipping from the cut. There isn't on this at all. Now, I'd love a 7. I'd love a 7 if this comes back. But I put a 6. I think that maybe one or two of the corners might be just a smidge soft. So if it graded a 7, I'd be super happy. But conservatively, I said 6. Here's one that this is something I normally don't do at all. But this is a 33 Gaudy Herb Pennock. And I believe he's a Yankee, and I believe he's in the Hall of Fame, and I believe this is going to get a 1 or an A, because it looks like it was glued into a book and then ripped off. And luckily, there doesn't appear to be paper loss on the card, but it looks more like the whatever surface it was glued to ripped off. There may or may not be ways to fix that. I'm not one of those guys that are going to try and do that. This card, it came in a collection. I'm not into it for a whole lot. So just getting this one authenticated, and again, if it came back a 1, that'd be great. But just a solid looking A will probably be good for me, and that's literally what I put a 1 or an A on this one. But it does have very good eye appeal with great centering and just that, just kind of that beautifully typical corner rounding with no creases or anything like that. So that one will be for sale. It's not my cup of tea. This next one might be, though. Now, I picked up a big lot of 5 1979 Willie McCoveys that were all packed fresh. And I sent 4 of them to PSA, and I saved 1 to send to SGC. And I can't remember what guided the decision. I can't remember if I thought I sent the best ones or picked a middle one. I can't remember. But these are gorgeous cards, absolutely centered. I think this is an 8.5. I'm just going to say that 8.5 right there. I think this lower left corner, which you won't be able to see, might take that down to that 8 range, but with the centering, everything else clean back, I think this grades an 8.5. Would I be surprised if it graded an 8? No. Lower than that, yes, I would be very surprised. I say it's an 8.5. Next up, this is hopefully one of the bigger cards, but if you can tell, that is a 94 finest refractor. Man, it is shiny, of David Justice. A big part of the 90s Braves dynasty. Fan favorite type of guy, semi-star. Didn't quite live up to Hall of Fame status, Chipper, Andrew, Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine. But David Justice was a big part of that team. Holds a big piece of Atlanta Braves fans' hearts, and that's a 94 finest refractor. I think, let's see what I said. I said a 9. The centering is not perfect on this. Just about everything else is. They are corners you could shave with. The edges are crisp. Surface looks immaculate, front and back. Again, you can kind of see that the back is a little bit off-centered, and the front is a little bit off-centered. I think it's a 9. So if it got a 9.5, I'd love that, but I think it's going to get a 9 due to the centering. And the last card that I've got here is another Braves, and as an Astros fan, it is killing me to send in these 90s Braves. But this is Chipper, and you can see that it's die cut. This is from 97 Pinnacle Inside, and this is a sneaky, hyper rare diamond edition. They're super, super, super rare. And this Chipper looks phenomenal. I mean, it is just absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, it's a die cut, and I have just had rotten luck when it comes to SGC and die cut cards. So I am saying an 8.5 because that's what I seem to always get is an 8.5. The reason I really do think that what they don't like, from my experience and best guess, is the back of the cards, especially the paper product. When they're die cut, they tend to chip on the back side. Now, we can kind of argue all day as to what companies may or may not have more leeway on that, but I do believe that SGC is very harsh when it comes to back die cut chipping. And I think that this little sawtooth, which right there, and maybe a little bit on the front, is not super clean. And so again, I'm guessing 8.5, and it will be a stunning 8.5. If it does get any higher than that, I'll be thrilled. Again, it looks gem when you just when you look at it. So we'll see what the folks at SGC think. And that is card number 36. So again, I'm kind of like, again, scraping the bottom of the barrel, trying to find some cards to send off to. Apparently I got to go out and buy some more. But those are the 36 I'm sending in this time, and we will see how we do.